my name is Hannah, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a bit of a spoiler-free review on Quidditch Through the Ages and the Tales of Beedle the Bard by J.K. Rowling. These books were kindly sent to me by Alan and Unwin, so thank you guys so much for sending me these books. I was so excited when I opened them up and I was like, yeah, it had been so long since I'd read these books. I remember reading them when I was like 10 and just seeing them in that box and I was just like, oh, time to take a stroll down memory lane. And can we take like a quick second to like look at how cute these covers are? Like, these just do strike me as children's books. Like when I opened these I was like, this is something I would have read as a kid thinking it was just a mini chapter book. And you know, it kind of is, but I'm like, this is something I would read to my kids, even though slightly morbid. I would read to my kids. Am I out of focus? I better check. Yeah, love the covers, thought they were try cute. But thank you so much to Alan and Unwin for sending me these. So basically today I'm going to be doing like a mini spoiler-free review on each book and I'm just like, I'm very excited about it. This video, by the way, is not sponsored at all whatsoever by Alan and Unwin. They were just sent to me and I was like, you know what? I'm going to review them. The first one I'm going to talk about is Quidditch Through the Ages by Kenilworthy Wisp, which is like pseudonym kind of J.K. Rowling's written under. Obviously it's by her, but that's the fictional author of Quidditch Through the Ages. Now I loved reading this every time because it's such good insight into the Quidditch world, because that's like the only sport that I'm like fully condone, that I'm like, I would go to a Quidditch match. I'd be so down with that. Like I just loved finding out about the teams. So the teams we always knew about was like the Bulgarians, the Irish, Holyhead Harpies, Puddlemere United, Chudley Cannons, you know, all those kinds. But we found out so much more and it was so fun though. I love like learning about like the Premier League and who like sucked and who like always won, and then, you know, we always knew Chudley Cannons sucked, but it was just great to know how badly they sucked. The fact they changed like their team motto to like, we're trying guys, you know, we'll just try our best. Like, I loved it. That was hilarious. Like, I kind of always thought I knew the basics of the rules, but like so much insight. Like, if I was to start an actual Quidditch team, which I can, I think maybe my university has one, I'd just crack open this and I'd be like, right guys, chasers left, quaffle that way, let's run. You know, well, broom. What do you even call it? Let's fly, let's fly, let's fly. And then learning about like the moves as well. Like, I recognized some of the moves, like I can never say it, like Wronski, Feint, you know, that move that Victor Crumb does in the Goblet of Fire, had that move in here and I was like, I know that one. That move I know. Yes I do. Like, just thinking about this book just made me like imagine like Madam Pince being real mad because it would always come back like battered and stuff, because all these kids would, you know, take this book out, you know, brush up on their knowledge of Quidditch and try out for like the Hufflepuff team and hope to win and turn it back, return it and be like covered in mud and she'd just be there in the corner and be like, yeah, nasty. All I could think about when reading this was like, I could just see Book Ginny reading Quidditch Through the Ages, just imagine her just casually reading Quidditch Through the Ages without her brothers noticing, and then she'd just whip out her broom and be like, and she'd just be awesome, you know, she'd just blow everyone's minds away. They were like, where'd you learn that? And she'd be like, this book, bitch. I can just see Ginny reading it. And I'm pretty sure it had like, who took it out? You know, actually Ginny never took this book out. You know what? I'll tell you who got this book out. Ronald Weasley got it out. It was overdue and someone wrote Ronald Weasley bracket stinks. Then Neville Longbottom got it out. Susan Bones got it out and she wrote is great, and it's the same handwriting as whoever wrote stinks next to Ron's name. So Susan Bones has a bone to pick with Ron, it seems. Hermione got it out after Susan. Padma Patel, Ernie Macmillan, Millicent Bulstrode, and Hermione got it out again. Hermione was really like keen to know like all about the Quidditch, wasn't she? And then Draco got it out. Someone played like a little thing of tic-tac-toe in the corner, like it just feels like a real book. What I think I loved the most about this, and it is so sad, is that New Zealand got a shout out in the book. And if you're not a New Zealander, you don't really understand, like, well, actually if you're from like a small country, you understand like what it's like to see your country in like a book and you're like, I'm from that country. Like, because as a New Zealander, we're used to everyone being like, oh, Australia. What's that country next to Australia? Oh, New Zealand. It's a New Zealand within Australia, and it like drives us insane. But this book, it tells you about the history of Quidditch in New Zealand, and I was just like, yes, that's my country. I was so happy. It was just like so cool to read. Like, I love it when like authors take the time to not only mention like your big mainstream countries like America, but they take the time to look at other little places because they know that their audience is that wide and it means a lot to the reader to know that they're being acknowledged. Like, it's just the little things in life, you know? So the other one I'm going to review is The Tales of Beedle the Bard by J.K. Rowling. So this is a book that I loved. I remember reading this like so vividly when I was like 10 and I just loved it. This is something I think I would read to my kids. I'm not going to read them Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, because I don't want to promote that kind of waiting for a man to come get them. Well, if I have kids, that's the real question. But I don't want to like promote that kind of behavior of like, oh, I'm waiting for my Prince Charming. We ain't having none of that shit. My kids, if I had them, are going to be watching Disney movies like Brave. We're going to have Merida as like their role model. Mulan, you know. People like that. We're going to have strong people. Tiana. Oh, Tiana. She's a bad bitch. Love that girl. She is off being independent. She was going to have her business. She was going to run the world. You know, go Tiana. Those are the kind of stories my kids are going to grow up on. And this. Because I love this. This was so fun and whimsical to read. What I really loved about this book is that after all the stories, there was like a little afterward from Dumbledore explaining like the importance and the meaning of the story. Sometimes I was reading one and I'd be like, now did I understand that correctly? And Dumbledore was there to have my back and be like, yeah, you did. Just reading the story, it felt like I really did feel like I was back in my childhood remembering the stories when I read them to myself. And then for a split moment, I felt like a witch or a wizarding child, you know, reading stories from their childhood and be like, oh, remember when Mum used to read us Babbity Rabbity? And I was like, yeah. And I felt like I was one of them. Speaking of Babbity Rabbity, Babbity Rabbity was my favorite one reading as a kid. And going back to it, I was like, oh my god, Babbity Rabbity and her cackling hot like blood. Like I loved reading Babbity Rabbity as a kid and I was like, oh my god, it's Babbity Rabbity and her cackling stuff. Like I remember that story so vividly and I like could never remember what the story was for years now, and I could not remember where I'd read it, and when I opened it and I remembered it, I was like, yes! So when I was reading the story of the tale of the three brothers, I like immediately cracked up reading the first line. Because the first line of the story is, there once were three brothers who were travelling along a lonely winding road at twilight. Now, if you remember reading the Deathly Hallows, actually if you've seen the movie, you know Ron interrupts Hermione going, Mum always said midnight. And like for some reason it like made me piss myself laughing because I remember reading the book and being like, Ron, this is not appropriate. And it was just like something that made me laugh. I have to say, I was a little bit wigged out reading the story, Warlock's Hairy Heart. Like I was like reading going, okay, yeah, cool, that's cool. I'm not sure if I really understood the moral of that story. So then I had good old Dumbledore's afterward and I was like, yeah, I understood it was really weird. Cool, that's cool. I have to say, it was just so cool to be able to reread these again after so many years. Like, it was just like such a good stroll down memory lane, and I read two of them in the afternoon, one after the other. It was just such a fun, quick read. And obviously, if you're a fan of Harry Potter, you've already read them or you'd own them. I'd already read them like many, many years ago, but it'd been many moons ago since I'd actually sat down and like read them again, and it was just so fun to just like go back in time to like when I was 10 and I was discovering Harry Potter, and these were just made my love for the story even better, and I was just like, this is amazing. So again, I want to say a quick thank you to Alan and Unwin for sending me these two books. I was so happy when I saw them. The books are currently out now for $14.99 New Zealand prices. Again, this video is not sponsored whatsoever. I just wanted to review them and was like sent some of the details about the book, so cool. So yeah, I hope you guys kind of enjoyed this spoilerishly free review of the Tales of Beedle the Bard and Quidditch Through the Ages. I know I certainly enjoyed reading them again. Okay guys, like, subscribe and all that jazz, and I will see you guys next time. Bye! Guess I better wash my mouth out with soap. God, I wish I never spoke.